Hello, everybody. Welcome to our Canadian Directors Training. This is a training where the directors in Canada have all decided to collab and bring you guys some things that we feel like maybe we need to hear, right? Sometimes that's the best way to train is based off of the things that you personally need to hear or have cemented in you, or things that we think that the field maybe needs to hear right now because maybe we needed to hear it at one point in our career as well. I am going to not take up too much more of your time here. I'm going to introduce our very first speaker that we have tonight. We have Mrs. Stacy coming in. She's going to chat with you guys about a couple of points I believe that we did pick up from Canadian Directors Training. I'm gonna let you take it away, Stacy. You can let everyone know who you are, why you said yes, and what you're going to share with us.
All right, you guys. Hi. For those who don't know me, I'm Stacy Heidman. I'm an SED. I live in Sarnia, Ontario. And I was going to talk about some takeaways, and I kind of got carried away on mindset, the importance of the business as a whole, and and really how to cast a vision. And because and the reason that I wanted to focus on that was basically because we're down in recruiting, right? And I think that what is missing is and the biggest missing piece right now is just casting a proper vision for the potential of the business. And because this is such a broad every rank, I wanted to make sure that it wasn't too far ahead in the leader category. So that's kind of what I came up with. What I wanted to start with was a little bit of vision casting of my own. And I believe that the best way to do that is to just talk about my story and to teach you guys how to tell a good story and how I learned that and what I based my speech off of when I opened the speech for the gala in front of 10,000 market partners at Monations was I just Kindra hauled myself, how it used to be, what changed, and how it is now. So how it used to be for me, you guys, was I was a single mom at one point in my life with my 3 older children when I left my ex-husband. I didn't get support from that situation. And although I had a very good career as a rescue specialist with the Canadian Coast Guard and almost making 6 figures annually if I was working a lot of overtime, I still ended up losing my apartment, losing my van, my car was repoed, and then my life started to change a little bit. I met my spouse, multiple 6-figure income. We've done really well for ourselves, but it still put us in a position where we still didn't have enough money at the end of the day to sustain the lifestyle that we wanted. And when I was 42 years old, I was pregnant with my 4th child, Chad's only child, and I was a rescue specialist and a sailor, which means I could not do that anymore. And because pregnancy isn't an illness, I ended up after 21 years of service with the government of Canada being pregnant at 42 on leave without pay. Not the coolest when you have mortgages and things like that. I was already doing another social selling company. So I had some belief in the industry. I did my research and I settled on Monate. So that was what changed for me. And, now if I look around at my life, and another big thing that I learned early on was Senior Louise said in a training that it's okay to talk about the good, but don't talk about the good without talking about the bad. So I start with how my life was and how, I lived 2 hours away from my kids, and I was ultimately homeless, and I didn't have a place besides my parents' basement for my kids. And now I own 2 houses with my spouse. I'm a part owner in a condo, a Cabo and Cabo with my brother. And fun fact, Mexico doesn't have mortgages. You have got to pay cash American in full when you do that. I've got the Range Rover. I've still got my Cadillac Escalade ESV that is paid off in full. No car debt for that. Fun fact about that, I earned my Cadillac so fast and I did not have enough income or credit that I went in, I pretty much got laughed out of the dealership in January, and I had my pretty woman moment in July of that same year, and I marched myself back into the same dealership. I went with a different salesperson who treated me with a little bit more respect, and I got my ESV. My BMW is paid in full, and we just got a GMC Denali. I have two of my older kids are in university, with one going next year that I pay for, including their housing. I've got well over 6 figures in my bank account, and I'm debt free with the exception of a $325,000 mortgage, you guys, okay? And that all started with a goal and a dream for me to not have to return to work. And as I started to catch on to this business, I started to make the dreams a lot bigger, and it's progressed into wanting legacy wealth for my family and that sort of thing. I want to talk a little bit about money mindset in a business, okay, and why it's important in regards to vision casting. Regardless of the reasons, I know Trina had talked about the book, some of the books that you could read, and the 4 personalities and that sort of thing. It's super important to know, I love you too, Erin. It's super important to know who you're talking to and what drives them, okay? But at the end of the day, and one thing that I'm very open about with my team and the people that I'm talking to, is the fact that regardless of whether or not you are doing this to give back to your church, to give to charity. Look at Jen Deck, you know, she gives all of her stuff to charity. She's a Chairman Award winner. Regardless of what your motivation and your biggest motivation is, it all boils down to money. And the importance of and Jackie McClements told me one time that always stuck with me, you know, you can't give what you don't have. And I used to be the mom that couldn't buy the chocolate bars, that sort of thing. I couldn't afford anything outside of feeding my kids. In fact, most of the time it was, I guess I won't pay hydro so that I can buy groceries. And the part about the money and the business part that I really want to touch on is 98% of North Americans are less than $200 a month from bankruptcy. And the thing that you need to know, and one of the most important things about your mindset that you really have to settle into before you talk to somebody, is you are never approaching somebody with the intention of growing your business. That's not why you're doing what you're doing. That's not what we do. We are extending a hand to our friends and family. You know, you're offering them happiness. You are literally selling somebody happiness, peace, sleep, contentment, fulfillment, purpose, and freedom. Because, like I said, and why it's very important, is every single household that you know, you can look across the street, you can go to your neighbor's house. They may look like they're doing all right, but they're not. 98% of us are not making enough to pay our bills, right? So when you understand that, and when you are offering somebody peace of mind, comfort, and sleep at night, because the vast majority, the large majority of all of us are struggling financially. And this is access to limitless income potential if you so choose. And that should ultimately be everybody's goal, because that is what the potential and the business offers you. It can start small with a cell phone bill, but you have to start planting seeds with your market partners if you want to start and produce a runner, okay? Show them money, show them that this can help their families. And it's not about, I say money, but it's not, it's about money, but only because money is what is required to get you where you need to be, where you can sleep at night and you can feed your kids and you can pay your bills, those sorts of things. I really want you to see the importance and how smart this business is. And that leads me into another part of the vision casting for you guys, is you really have to understand how smart this business is. There is nothing like it in the entire world, you guys, and you've made the smartest decision. And here's why. I want you to think about this, and I want you to compare, what a brick and mortar business might be, although very commendable, very hard to change your life with and still do all the things. We don't have overhead, right, you guys? So we don't, you have to think about what a brick and mortar store might be and why this is actually a smarter business model. There's no monthly requirements. You don't have employees. Do you have any idea how hard it is to manage employees? People don't want to work these days. People are calling in sick. They are overwhelmed. Managing people and managing a staff is a very daunting and large task. We don't have to do that. People don't work for us. They work on our teams for themselves, right? No rent, no bills, no insurances. Do you know how expensive insurances are, you guys? And then we add the other part of that to the tax benefits. You really have to understand and know that what you did was you made a really intelligent decision in doing this and selecting this business. Since I was a kid, I always wanted to be an entrepreneur, but nothing ever made sense to me because I don't want to work my butt off and give all of it away. And that's what you're doing also when you're working a regular job, right? There's so many benefits to the business, and you really have to be able to speak. And in order to speak confidently about a topic, you have to be an expert in what you're talking about. So get comfortable, practice what this business is and how to talk to people in a way that they can relate to. Maybe it's a super successful real estate agent or a teacher. Okay, so maybe they have a good income. Let's talk about how they can reduce their income come tax time and the benefits that go along with this, provided you make $600 in the year. So if you don't understand the tax benefits and you don't know them, that's a great way to actually have another approach to somebody who might not see this as a business opportunity. How else can they utilize this? The community, right? A lot of us need sisterhood. That's another one. And for $250, you gain access to limitless income potential with zero risk. Brick and mortars are risky. Typically, statistically, you have to work 2 years before you make any money in a brick and mortar business. And we always tend to leave out the fact that this is just fun. There's a lot of fun to be had, right? If you've been around and you're involved in the community, you already know that, but don't neglect to tell your prospects and your new people that it's actually a lot of fun and it's a very productive way to spend your time. I talked about the fact that everybody is struggling financially. Most North Americans, 98% I believe as well, could not afford a $400 emergency. So when you're thinking about how people are living their lives on a daily basis, you really, really should consider the fact that, if you don't have a story, maybe reflect back on the story that I told you in the beginning and how if I didn't do this, I would still be sailing, right? And I can remember when I started my journey, being told some figures that people were making with my previous company. And I was mind blown by that. And then I remember seeing Tony Van Schoik's video that she shared with Ann Fisher on the private jet that Monate had sent her. And it was for the month of October 2017. And that dollar amount was $247,000 American for 1 month. I latched onto that story and I thought to myself, holy crap, if she can do that, I can do that too. It might even be a fraction of that, but I can sure do something. And those are the things that you have to, share with people, and not necessarily with the dollar amount attached, but with the story attached to the pain point, that, and I don't want you guys to feel like you are being manipulative when you are saying these things, because it is literally your job to educate them about the fun parts of this business. And if you don't sign your market partner, it's because you haven't cast the proper vision. And that's why it's so important. When I bought my kit, you guys, it's Christmas time, right? And nobody has any money. Well, guess what, sister? That's exactly why you should be doing this business. I had to move money around. The kit at the time was $388, right? But the what if was stronger than the fact that I was spending $388. Now they're $250 plus tax and shipping for access to the lifestyle that you can observe many of us living. The life change, the evolution. Because I always say to my team, this is about the evolution of the female. Who I was when I started is not who I am now. That is for certain. Nothing changes if nothing changes. I say a lot of the time too, that this is literally a cash for life ticket. If you do the steps and activities every day for the correct amount of time consistently, that ticket is cashable, right? But it's all about the activity. This is your escape plan. So what I really want you to think about too when you're talking to people and in your mind as well is you have to try to get people to understand what they're saying no to and what they're missing out on. That's ultimately when you're trying to spark a runner, when you're trying to motivate, and when you're trying to inspire. Those are the things that you have to understand and get to know, and learn how to ask people specific questions to start getting them thinking about these sorts of things. So, look at their profile when you're talking to them and be specific. I know you like to spend time with your kids. Start asking them questions that are going to get them thinking about what they really want out of their life. What do you want to experience in your life, and what does your dream day look like, right? Like, if you really sit down and think about it, chances are your friends and yourself are not going to think, well, I really wanted to do this job that I don't really enjoy very much, wake up to an alarm, go there and not even make enough money to be able to pay my bills and feed my kids properly. Nobody has that dream, and yet that's how the vast majority of us are living, right? What things are important to you to achieve before you die? That was a big thing for me, because it used to keep me up at night to think about, is this really all that my life is supposed to be? I have a great career and it's awesome, and I'm really proud of that, but I do not want to kill myself working my ass off to still not be able to do anything, to not live the life that I had envisioned for myself when I was a child. And I asked people, like, what did you want to be when you grew up, and why are you not doing that? And I get them thinking about complacency and mediocrity, and I start to get them thinking outside of that and what their life could be if they really wanted to make a change. What would your life look like if money and situational things weren't keeping you back? When I first started, I thought I would like all the Louis Vuitton things, and I'm starting to now collect the monetary showy stuff, but it morphed for me into legacy wealth for my family, the purchasing of the homes, the condo, the fact that I have over 6 figures in my bank account. Like, those are the things that I want to show people and expose people to, so that they really understand what they're saying no to. Okay. And we can talk about the things and how it's impacted our life in a positive way without throwing money figures out there. Like, you have to be obviously careful with compliance and income claims, but you're allowed to talk about the ways that your life has changed in a positive way, and relate it back to the business. Yeah. And who do you want to be, and who is your ideal self? you know, back to the evolution of the female, if you could sit back and you could think about the woman that you admire in your life the most, what does she look like? What are her habits like? Is she fit? Is she healthy? Is she making bank? Is she home with her family? Does she have a healthy relationship? And if you close your eyes and you think about that person and it is not you, then you have work to do, because the potential for that to be you is literally right in front of you. And this business, everybody always says this is a personal development journey disguised as a direct selling company. And it is the absolute truth. Remember who you're going to be one day is who you're becoming now. And the steps that you take every day through consistency and relationship building are what's going to get you to the place that you want to be. And never lose sight of the vision that you have for the best version of your life and yourself. Don't wait and start today. And now is the time for you to become the best version of yourself, the one that was intended for you from the beginning. And you have to start dreaming again like you did when you were a kid, and really try and reflect back on when it was that you gave up. You know, when it was that you just became a victim to your circumstances, and truly understand that what you have in front of you is access to whatever you want your life to look like. All right. And then you have to get to work. That is all I have, because I could go on forever about it, but we have 4 of us tonight. So next up is going to be Isabelle Mcmillan. She's from London, Ontario. She's a very good friend of mine. She, you know, what I love about Isabelle, her content is incredible. She was a professional photographer, and now she's just a jag driving baddie who's doing her business. And, you know, I love the Sideline Sister stuff. I love all my fellow Canadian directors. We're very lucky to have each other. And Isabelle, go ahead and you start talking.
Thanks, Stacy. Oh my God, you're so funny. I love you too. And it's because of the Sidelines and everybody being so welcoming. I'm going to talk a little bit about that too. You know, well, obviously we have an amazing community, but thanks for all of that. Such a good training, Stacy. So hi, everyone. So my name is Isabelle Mcmillan. I am an executive director, and I celebrated 4 years in the business in July. So I guess we're almost at 4.5 years, and I have no idea where the last 4.5 years have gone. It's been so fun, and I always say I'm more excited for this business now than when I started, which is crazy because I was very excited when I started, but I just, you know, there's always something new and exciting to look forward to. And we really have to make sure we share that with the people that we're talking to, right? So the people who are interested in this opportunity. So tonight I'm basically just going to share the importance of taking control of your business, okay? And showing up for every event that you possibly can get to, okay? So I know a lot of the training tonight is, you know, stuff that the directors were able to, you know, a lot of training went on at the directors in Montebello. So I'm going to talk about the importance of getting your butts there, okay, to all these incentive trips, to all of the trainings, right? To even a VIP event, like all of these things matter. We, of course, in the last couple of years, things have become really difficult, and I know it's easy to make excuses now, right? And it has been really hard through COVID for sure. But, you know, when we do have that opportunity, we need to do everything that we can to get to these events, the trainings, Monations, like these all have to be non-negotiables in your business, especially if you are a leader. But even if you're not, just for yourself, for your own accountability, if it's something that needs to be earned, you need to know what those requirements are, and you need to work on them as soon as you hear about them, okay? Because so many people leave it to the last minute, and then they realize, like, wow, if I would have just, you know, had maybe one more event, or if I had, you know, one more of this or that, or spent one extra day, right? So know what the requirements are, because never know when you go to these events, or even if you're just going to a training and you're listening to a speaker, you just don't know what is going to be that impact for you, right? You don't know what that one thing that's going to trigger you, to inspire you. Or someone's story might resonate with you. I hear it all the time, oh, so and so came on a call and that really resonated with me, right? So you need to go to everything. You need to go to everything. It's so, so important, okay? You make it a non-negotiable. And regardless of your rank too, okay? So make sure that your calendar is full. I mean, at this point in the month, a lot of times people, they might think like, oh, it's almost Christmas, or I'll wait until next month and I'll do better then, that kind of thing, right? But every day that you wake up, you need to have a plan, right? And every day matters, and you have to have a full calendar. You need to be looking into after Christmas, right? And into the new year, right? Because the way we end our year is super important. And of course, going to create that momentum to 2022. So remember, okay, because you are in charge of your own business, and it doesn't matter, if your upline is, creating these events, right? Or if they're going to these events, or if they're going on that trip. This is your business, okay? And even if you're, I don't know, if your team's not going somewhere, like, just make it a non-negotiable for yourself. Be your own, be your own biggest cheerleader, and just keep yourself accountable, okay? It doesn't matter what anybody else is doing, just stay in your own lane. It's so, so important, okay? And I just want to share why I feel so strongly about this, because I know, so back to like the trips and showing up, I know that that very first trip that I went on is the reason why I'm here today. Like, no doubt in my mind that that is why I'm here, because like, I was very new, my business grew really fast, and I earned the trip to, so the first trip I went on was in San Francisco. So, and I didn't have a relationship with my upline. I didn't really know her, but I kind of, again, just took control of my own business. But my business grew fast, and I earned this trip to San Francisco, and I was scared. Like, I am not, like, some people think I'm confident in my business because I have been doing it for over 4 years, right? I've been showing up every day for over 4 years. So, I might be perceived as confident, and I am in this business. But when I started, I wasn't, right? And I'm shy. I am a shy person. But I was so scared. Like, I could have said, I'm not going, right? Because, like, I don't have an upline that's meeting me there. I didn't have, my team wasn't coming with me, because it was like the first leadership trip, right? It was for market mentors and above. So what I did was I remember going on to Facebook, and I was added on this mentors chat, or sorry, Facebook mentors group. And I put a note out, like, I posted on there, and I said, I'm really new. I don't know anyone who's going to San Francisco, who wants to be my friend. Like, I literally posted that on the mentors thing, because I'm like, I don't want to go, not know anyone. Like, I'm so scared. Like, I was literally like a chicken. And so everybody was like so nice, so welcoming. And I remember actually, and I saw Diana Thomas on here, but she was one of the first ones I had conversations with. Super nice. Anyways, she added me into a group chat, and then I started having more conversations with everyone. But anyways, that was me initiating, right? And that's something I don't typically do, but because this role demands you to have that initiative, whether you're scared of it or not, you have to put yourself out there, right? And again, that was unlike me, but I wanted this so bad. Like, when you want something bad enough, you will come out of your comfort zone. And we know that you can't grow within your comfort zone, right? We hear that all the time. So anyways, again, it's all these things that you are going to do, right, that are going to help you grow as a person. Like, even if you're afraid of it, you need to just feel that fear and do it anyways, okay? So and I want to ask, like, I'm I'm sure there's a lot of you on here that are new or, you know, are just starting out, but who here has hesitations of being a leader or has hesitations of what that might look like? Because I can tell you that when I first started, if somebody said to me, oh, you're going to be a leader, or oh, you're going to have to talk in front of people, or all these things, I probably wouldn't have kept going, right? But I didn't look too far ahead. And sometimes looking too far ahead and like questioning what that's going to look like will actually keep you and hold you back, right? So don't be afraid of that. And also let me put your mind at ease, because you know, even to this day, I question myself. But you know, like I know I can still improve every day. I know that I'm going to learn every day, but we just have to start where we are and enjoy the process, right? Enjoy the process of learning, because we know that money financially is amazing, but I truly believe the personal development that we get from this business is above and beyond that, because we literally can take everything we learn from this role and what we do and apply it to so many different areas of our life, right? So anyways, having said all that, I do want to sort of encourage you guys all to detach yourself a little bit from your upline. I'm sure you've heard people say before, you know, like divorce your upline or whatever. Like don't actually divorce them, but just taking accountability for your own business is actually going to be a game changer, okay? If you detach yourself a little bit and you wake up and you're like, okay, I'm my own person, I'm my own market partner, you know, if you start doing that, watch and see what happens, because I promise you, you're going to see big changes in your business if you start to do that. So again, I don't mean like just totally, you know, upping and going and leaving everybody or anything like that, but just, you know, taking more initiative in your own business. Even if you're brand spanking new, if you're an MMP, you have 2 market partners, right? So that's where it starts. Okay, that as soon as you have that first market partner, you are now considered a leader, whether you think you are or you're not. Okay. So anyways, yeah, so and I know that again, not having that relationship or like an upline kind of like telling me what to do all the time, it made me go again. I had that initiative. I had to go find the answers. I had to like create everything myself. As soon as I had that first market partner, that second market partner, I opened up my own group, my own chat. I started doing events all on my own, and I was actually looking up to like other leaders, like what are they doing, right? Because success leaves clues, right? So, you know, if you see what people are doing and they're successful and they're doing well, it's like, okay, well, I just have to duplicate that, right? Like we say, this business is so much of duplication. This really, truly is a monkey see, monkey do business, right? And like so many people are showing the way already. So, you know, you might ask yourself, or you might wonder sometimes, like, so if we know what we need to do, why are we not doing it then, right? And I truly believe that's only 2 things. It's either a lack of passion, which brings you back to your why, and we know we always have to like come back to our why. Maybe it changes, right? Maybe it's not big enough. Or it's a lack of confidence, right? And the thing is too many people wait for that confidence, right? They're waiting for that confidence to jump into their business, but it doesn't happen that way. As John Maxwell would say, you know, there are a lot of people who are always getting ready to get ready, right? And this is what's going to keep you stuck, because the only way you're going to get confident in your business is if you're actually doing the actions over and over and over again, okay? And then when you're doing these actions, right, that's going to help you define your why even more so. And then you're going to become more passionate. You're going to become more passionate because you're seeing results. You know you're helping changing other people's lives. And these results is what's going to give you that confidence, right? And then you're going to keep going. So again, I want to challenge you all to start waking up for your own business, start taking initiative, be your own best upline, regardless of your rank. Again, even at MMP, you need to get started, right? help organize events, right? Help host them. Get together with your team right away. I did that. I went to coffee shops. I went to restaurants. We would just show our community, because so many people join for the community. And I have so many of my girls to this day. I'm so proud. Like after 4.5 years, they're still in the business. They're still in the business. So when you bring everybody together, that makes a huge difference. You don't want to just have conversations and like you don't want to have just relationships online, right? You want to get to know your people, go and travel. Like I have market partners in all over, and some of my mentors are in Hamilton, so I'm like driving 2.5 hours, and I have no problem doing that. So anyways, you guys all have to know this, okay? You have what it takes, okay? You all do. I want you guys to write that in the chat. I have what it takes, okay? Everyone on this call has the same opportunity. And I truly believe that the ones who take the initiative go the furthest because they are taking accountability of their business, okay? So yeah, events, trips, trainings, make it a non-negotiable, okay? And if you want to build a successful team, you need to show and go the way. It will be a game changer. And then I'll just leave you with one more thing. Something else that I learned from John Maxwell. And I say this all the time. So if you're on my team, you know it's nothing new. But John Maxwell says a good leader will act, okay? So act is action, change, and teach. So we come on these calls, we listen to everything, or we write our notes, and then we don't do anything, right? So I want you guys to act on something on this call. So A in ACT stands for action. So what are the things you're going to take action on from this call? C stands for change. What is something that you're going to change in your business? T is for teach or transfer. So what are you going to teach that from this call to somebody on your team? All right, that's all I have for you guys. Thanks, everyone. And I'm excited for a strong end to this month and a more amazing 2022. And now I'm going to pass it on to Kat.
Thank you, Isabel. Hello, everyone. I am Kat, and I'm going to come and I'm going to chat with you guys here about a little bit about who I am in my story, and then also comparison. But I'm going to need a big favor from every single one of you. Unless you are standing in front of your freaking camera naked, I need you to turn on your video, because number one, I'm sick and I need to see faces so that I can bring up my energy, okay? So please, I'm asking, unless you are butt ass naked, get your camera on and give me those smiles and those faces and let me know that you are here and you are ready to learn, okay? Pretty close to naked. That's okay too, as long as your public broadcasting is okay, you're good to come here that way. All right. Okay, I'm Kat. I have been with money since August 1st of 2015. Okay, so I have been here for a second, you could say. And I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about comparison. Okay, so I'm going to ask you guys a question here, and I would love for you to shout out in the chat if you have ever compared yourself to someone else. My daughter has, apparently. Okay, she's not going to inject too much today, right? Who has compared themselves to someone else? Okay, now I also want to ask you a second question. How did that feel following that? Right? You kind of spiral. Anyone else spiral in those moments, right? You catch yourself like literally like just zoning in, and you started comparing yourself to someone else, and suddenly that conversation has shifted, and now you're looking at yourself and you're picking yourself apart. Has anyone else walked through that? Right? Where you look at someone else and you think X, Y, and Z, and then all of a sudden you're looking at yourself and it's the equivalent to like zooming in on a picture and being like, yeah, but I have a pimple right there, right? It gets right down to that part there, right? So I'm going to share with you guys some of my story, because a lot of it actually comes from comparison or lack of it. Okay. And I can tell you that the direct highs and lows of my entire Monat career come either from me not giving an absolute flying what everyone else is doing and not looking at anyone else, to being in places where maybe I'm looking outward too much. Okay. I am at 6.5 years in this business. I joined, like I said, on August 1st of 2015. I will tell you, I hit market mentor in 3 months. I hit managing market mentor in 4 months. I hit director 10 months after that. 10 months after that, I hit executive director. Okay. I will tell you that from when I hit executive director, guess what? 18 months later, I lost that title. And I became an associate executive director again, right? Now I am now here in this place, still working to get my executive director title back. Okay, so I'm not coming to you with this like magical, like rise to the top and everything was beautiful story. Okay, I'm coming to you with a story that is something that, you know what, I like to say, I have earned the scars on my knees. I have gone and I have rebuilt. I'm in the process of my 3rd rebuild right now. Okay, I am constantly, I feel like I've constantly been in rebuild, but you should actually feel that. If you don't feel that, you're not actually acting in the way that this business needs to go. All right. So when I said yes to money, okay, I'll tell you this, that at the time I am a solo mom to a now 9-year-old girl. She was 3 years old at the time. I was a full-time massage therapist, and I was also working as a night manager at a bar and restaurant called Earl's. Okay. And so I was what you would call busy. That's why I do roll my eyes at a lot of people when they say they don't have time for this. Right. I'm like, no, but you want to change your life. And this is mostly, I actually don't roll my eyes at prospects because they don't know what they don't know. But when I hear market partners give excuses, I'm like, you've seen it. You've drank the Kool-Aid. What the heck? As soon as I did, I was willing to run through a brick wall for what I didn't even know what could be on the other side. But I'm going to tell you one thing. I knew it was better than what I was freaking doing in that moment. Right? I knew there had to be an answer. There had to be a way that I was going to not run out of money before the month was over. I knew that. So I ran. So stop giving yourself these false notions like you don't have time. I broke income producing activities into 15-minute segments. And no joke, I squeezed those into every nook and cranny of my day religiously. Okay. So that I went through a first part in my business, you guys, here, and I'm going to share this with you because I don't know if anyone else is there. I mean, I just follow 2 really beautiful people with their hair perfectly done, and they have like these like beautiful faces and they're just looking amazing. And then I come in and I'm like, hey guys, like that is me though. And I fought that part of myself for so freaking long. I am not the girl that's going to have my hair done every single day. I am not the girl. I lost my makeup. I did not know where my makeup was and I had to pack it to go to Quebec and I had no idea where it was. Legit. The last time I wore makeup was in September for Monation stuff. And I was like, where did I put it? Okay, I had absolutely no idea. I found it in the nick of time and then I just wore mascara the rest of the time. I didn't even need to bring the makeup, right? But that's who I am. But I'm going to tell you, a lot of you guys are holding back from sharing your secret sauce, the absolute superpower that you have inside of you, because you feel like you need to jump in the shower, you need to put on all this stuff to go and somehow go into this like non-existent competition that's out there. I used to feel that way. Okay, my very first year in this business, I'm not like a regular getting ready girl, so I don't even know how to get ready. So when I try to get ready, it takes me about 2 hours. So I was like taking 2 hours to get myself ready to jump into my team page to do like a 5-minute video explaining a flash sale. Is anybody else out there like that? Whether it comes to your social media, your team page showing up, that you're like, holy cow. I just literally, and I looked at that and I was like, your time is money. And I'm wasting freaking money. Right? Okay. Now, if you are someone who absolutely loves looking like an absolute baddie and you're like always like that, props to you. I'm not telling you to stop being that way. I'm speaking to the people who feel like they have to function outside of who they function at in equilibrium and their homeostasis, for any biodome people out there, right? I'm telling you it's okay. Okay, you need to show up as you. And I let go of all of that. And I'm going to tell you guys, I let go of every single piece of that. And that is literally where I went from going and being, you know, a pretty stable MMM to absolutely crushing it as a director, right? Was when I embodied who I was, when I stopped looking around, because I'm going to tell you, I was looking around. I remember Kendall Weldon came on the scene and she was just the absolute idea in me. She was like this picture of like, wow, she's beautiful, she's tiny, she's small. I'm 6 feet tall and a whole lot of woman. Like, okay, let's go. Okay. But I was comparing myself to someone who I didn't actually even want to be. But I felt like that's what everyone else wanted to see. Okay. But then I started, I'm going to give you guys an exercise that I want to do with you all right now. Okay. I want to do this with every single one of you right now. There is a fun little way on here that you can go if you put it onto speaker view or you click on your own picture and you're going to pin your picture. You're going to pin you to the screen. Okay. If it doesn't work, just look at your damn self. Okay. That's why I also wanted your camera to be there. Okay. If it doesn't work, I want you to look at yourself on the screen. Okay. And I'm going to challenge you right now to look at yourself. You're on mute, so no one's going to hear you say anything. But I want you to look at that person and the camera and out loud, because it's going to have a lot more power out loud. Okay. I want you to compliment yourself. I want to see some lips moving, guys. No one can hear you. Okay. No one can hear you. I want you to compliment yourself. Right? I want you to look at yourself and understand that you need to see the beauty in you. You need to see the power in you. You need to see your secret sauce before anyone else is going to recognize it. Right? But I want you to look at that. The next thing I want you to look at yourself, and I want you to freaking, okay, if you can't scream it, that's okay. But I want you to say, what is the one thing in this business that you are freaking good at? That if there was one requirement in this business, you put all your money in that area. You'd be like, I am putting it all in here. What is that for you? Look at yourself and say that. Right? What are you freaking amazing at? That this business it's a piece of it. Because who here feels like you've spent so much time looking around, oh, I'm not that good at social media, or I'm not, you know, I don't know how to put together outfits, and I don't know how to do content shoots, or I say awkward, weird things, and I love to eat a lot, so I don't talk to anyone at events. Like, who goes and looks at all these things and reasons why you're not going to be good at this? Right? Start doubling down on the things that you know. I know in myself, I get one-on-one with someone, they're signing up. I know that. I know my gift that I have is to be able to pull and see in people what they don't even know in themselves yet. Right? I know that's my gift. I know that you guys all have your own gifts. You don't have to have your gift be my gift. That would be very, very boring, right? But you have your own gift, and just stop looking around. And I'm going to tell you guys, I would be the biggest liar in the entire world if I told you that tomorrow I probably wasn't going to have moments of comparison. Okay, like you're going to. But I'm a firm believer that the way to master something is to never do anything wrong. The way to master mindset isn't to always have a perfect mindset. The way to master not comparing yourself to other people is to never do it. The way to master it is to be able to snap yourself out of it quick, to call yourself on your own BS. I will tell you the number one time that I am always in comparison mode. And I mean, some people are probably going to like not like me for saying this, because I'm going to be calling you out on your own shit too. Like I call myself out on it. But I feel like I can do that because I do it to myself. Okay. So please forgive me if this makes you mad, but know that I would never say something to you that I would not expect from myself. Okay. When I am comparing myself and I get stuck in that, there is a direct relation to the lack of activity in my business. I'm going to say that again so that you can hear it. Okay. When I am busy comparing myself to people, there is a direct relation to the lack of activity in my business. And think about that. right? Are you going to let your mind steal from your bank account? No one's saying you have to compare yourself. You are putting that on yourself, right? The moment that you can accept that you have control of every single thing in this world because you have control of yourself. So you can either control how you react to something or how you act through something. Accept that and master that skill of being able to call yourself on that shit every single day. The moment it happens, look at yourself in the mirror and give yourself a compliment. Look at yourself in the mirror and say, this is my superpower in whatever I'm stepping in to do. And I hope you guys can do that. I hope that you guys can wake up every morning and start off like that. It's the Mel Robbins high five, whatever it's got to be, but start the vibes right. Okay, start those in the right way and really master that and go up. And I'm so excited to welcome to you guys the next person and the last person in our training today is $1 Million Club member Amanda Barrett. All right, Amanda, take it away.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much. I just love my sidelines. Like, if you guys don't have sidelines yet, you need to go find them and you need to link with them and then go. Because, like, they're the best. I've been in this business now since September of 2015. Okay. I'm one of the OGs. So, you know, just like Kat, I've had the highs and the lows and the highs and lows. You know, I was once an SCD. Now I'm an ED, kind of, floating around AED comfortably, give or take. Like, shit happens. And that's the first thing that you need to get comfortable with, especially if you're in it for the long haul. It's not always going to be like rainbows and butterflies. But, it's things like this showing up, like Isabel said, and having that, vision casting, like Stacey said, and having a good mindset, like Kat said, like all of these things come together to give us that energy that we need, that confidence that we need, that mindset that we need to keep going, right? Because, I've 6.5 years and I'm still like, yay, okay. And this is just the beginning, like we're babies. So what I'm going to share with you, and I'm really excited about it, it's pretty chill, is just some takeaways from our trip in Quebec. I'm like a person who likes to be told cool stats, where the company is, exciting things that the company is doing, things that I can use in my day-to-day, in my talking stories. So first of all, I'm thinking this is going to be good for a lot of like newer market partners. Like, I'm kind of talking to you. If you're trying to get comfortable on social media, what am I going to say on my stories? How do I talk on my stories? I'm scared to go live. I'm scared to put myself out there. Well, these are some things that I want you to start talking about. If you've been around as long as we have, you've probably dealt with some negativity. There's no such thing as a business that is going to be perfect all the time. So, we have to remember, when you're dealt that negativity or you see it come across your phone or your desk or however you work, we're 7 years old now. We're not going anywhere. And I'm going to tell you how amazing we are as a company so that you can start talking about all of this good stuff to drown out any of that bad, because it's time that just kind of goes away. And I really was excited to hear a lot of this. I thought, we don't talk about this enough. And I think that we need to celebrate what we have achieved as a company and be proud of that. So Ray and Jackie were sharing some cool numbers, and really awesome to say that sales revenue is sitting at $3.5 billion as a company. Not even like 7 years old, and it's a $3.5 billion company revenue wise. Like, that's insane. Ray shared that. It was really exciting. Something that I love is that we have 1.2 million reps. So there's 1.2 million market partners, okay? But, when we were saying that a very large percentage of people are just hundreds of dollars away from how long did it take Apple? Right, yes, exactly. I don't know. It was a long time, though. It wasn't those 7 years or a couple that we did it in. But yeah, so 1.2 billion reps. And when we're talking about how many people are just hundreds of dollars away from bankruptcy, Monet contributed $1.2 billion in additional or sole household income in this like 7 years that it's been a company. That is huge. You know how many families that has helped? Like, that is mind blowing to me. Okay. We are the biggest hair care company in the world based on revenue. Okay. We are still the #1 premium hair care company in North America. So that means you walk in any salon, you guys, we sell more shampoo than all of that shit you see on the shelves. Okay. We are the #1 in North America. Remember that. Talk about it. Be proud of that. Own it. Okay. This is a stat I think someone was just talking about. We are 23rd in the world. We are number 23 in the world in direct sales companies. So when you look at that, if you just Google Monat top DSW, direct sales worldwide, it'll bring it up. It's like Business Wire, and then you can see the list, and it'll say a detail list. It'll show you the annual revenue, and this was based in 2020 revenue. Monat was number 23, sitting at revenue of $804 million. Arbonne was number 22, sitting at revenue of $847 million. But here's the thing. Arbonne's almost 50 years old. Monat's only 7. Guys, if that doesn't give you chills, if that doesn't make you like so excited right now, then you're not in the right place. Like, mind blowing to me. So really understand these things, write them down, rewatch this, own it. So when I talk about this stuff, it's because I'm so passionate. I'm so excited about it. It's not just a note to me. Like, I'm just like, are you hearing what I'm saying? You know, like, own it, what you have to offer. Because it shows how successful we are and how big we are as a company and how far we're going. And it's literally a rocket ship, right? Like, who's coming? So I love that stat. All right. Awards. This is something I think we need to start sharing. Okay. If you don't already, I recently just went into my back office. They have all of the global awards in there. I like saved them all. I screenshotted them. I'm sure there's easier way to do this, but then I like cropped them all, made them all nice. And I'm going to make a reel with them. We're already did, but it's just sitting in my drafts, but watch, it'll come shortly. And I'm like, you know, we don't talk about this stuff enough. Like, these awards are huge. You know, when people are shitting on our products, hello, we're the #1 dry shampoo. And, you know, I'll get to that. I have that written down. But there's only 5 official beauty awards in Canada that go out annually. There's the Elle Beauty Grand Prix Award. There's the Fashion Awards. There's the Clindoil Awards. I don't know. Clindoil. The French girls are going to die right now laughing at me. Cosmetics Magazine Beauty Awards, and the Fashion X Chatelaine Beauty Award, which is brand new in 2022. So we'll see, I'm sure, Monat winning that as well. So let's start with 2019. This is the Beauty Grand Prix Award that we won 2nd place for the Rejuvenique oil. And we won as a pre-shampoo treatment. So here's an idea for you. Do a story talking about your oil treatment. Tonight before you go to bed, do an oil treatment. Do it on your stories. And you're going to be like, yeah, so this is, you know, oil treatments and they're really important and this is why. But do you want to know what's something that's really cool? Is that Monat actually won 2nd place in pre-shampoo treatments with the Beauty Grand Prix Award for this oil because it is the best pre-shampoo treatment. So as you're talking about explaining all the importance of the oil and why it's so important, you can back that up with third-party validation as it being a nationally recognized award-winning product. So that was that one. Next page. All right. 2020 Fashion Awards. We won 3 first-place awards. And this one I love. We won for dry shampoo. We won 1st place for dry shampoo. And you know how you can talk about this right now? Well, today, this really nasty article dropped from CNN Business. I don't know if any of you seen it. And it was talking about 30 plus shampoos and dry shampoos that were, recalled because of carcinogenic ingredient called benzene. So you can share that article, and it's very important. I don't bash products. That's one thing I don't do. I don't bash other products, but it is my job to educate my followers. I'm sorry if you don't like it. I'm sorry if you have Pantene and this offends you that I'm sharing this article that this, was recalled because of a possible carcinogenic ingredient. But I wanted to share it because the dry shampoo that I'm using, that I'm recommending to my friends and family, has won 1st place. It's won the best dry shampoo in 2020 with the Fashion Awards. Okay, and this is why, and then educate them why our dry shampoo is so good. So it's just a really good opportunity to provide education while backing it with the third-party validation with a national award. Then we have first place for the oil. So that was another award that we won. And that's the same thing. Why is our oil better than, the other oils? And again, I don't talk about the oils. I've made posts before putting stickers in front of the oils because I don't want to be that girl that's like shitting on Moroccan oil when we all know it's toxic garbage for our hair. But you don't want to be that person because then it just comes off, people sometimes don't want to buy from someone who's like, ew, my product's so much better. Educate them and let them find out for themselves. The Makeup Vanishing Balm, that also won first place. And that's another opportunity to teach. 2021, this is really cool. So the L Grand Prix, we won first place for our sun veil. And the Clean d'Oeil, the French one, we won for the Be Purified Charcoal Mask. So I want to show you. This is really cool. So you're going to see this on our products. Your VIPs are going to see this on their products. The products that have won these awards are now, they will come with the sticker on it about saying what award they won. So this year, the Sun Veil, it has the L 2021 Beauty, the Grand Prix Beauty Award. Kind of see it, but it's just really cool. Like they're getting these products and then they're also getting third-party validation right there. So talk about that, be proud, share it, what else? Gratitude. This was something that was really, really nice. When we were in Quebec, Jackie shared this video from all of the different organizations that Monade has supported throughout the year. They got together and they sent videos thanking Monade for what they have done, for their contributions, for their gratitude. And it's really important that we share that because somebody might join you for that reason. Somebody might join you because of the gratitude. Somebody might join you because they're so impressed with what we do for sustainability and our recycling program. So it's important to always talk about those things where it might not be so wow to you. That person watching, that might be like, okay, wow, yeah. So this is not just awesome shampoo and this and that, but like they're like really into like sustainability and like the recycling program sounds really cool. Like they're with TerraCycle or wow, like gratitude. They're so much more than a shampoo company. They're giving back and like look at all these companies and these organizations that they have helped. So a few of them, I'm going to list the ones that we did give back to this last year. Horizons for Youth, Salvation Army, the Frontline Fund, Wounded Warriors, Big Brothers, Big Sisters, Yellow Brick House. That's an organization that is all about empowering abused women and children. Bruce Trail, Conservancy. Oh my God, I can't read my own writing. And Sick Kids. And there's something really cool. There is a gratitude video that I'm talking about. You can actually see it. We can share it. It is on the Monade Gratitude site right now. So we can all go watch it. We can share it. These are things to be proud of. And that sets us apart from a lot of really huge, companies out there. And I think that we need to start owning that and be proud of that. And I don't think we talk about it enough. Like I talk about 2019, Monade was used as an example of safety and effectiveness at the World Congress of Hair in Barcelona, Spain. That is huge. When anybody says anything about our products being less than incredible, how do you explain that? Right? How do you explain that? Right? That's amazing. Like we have to know these things. It's our job to know these things so that we can be passionate when we talk and that we can share these little things and educate our followers why we are so much more than just shampoo. And third-party validation, just like a three-way call when you're trying to get that market partner, this is third-party validation in other ways, right? And it's there, it's free. We need to use it. And Jackie was saying like we are being the media is coming to us more and more. Free press, exactly. Like they're coming to us now, right? We have been around long enough through the shitstorm. We ain't going nowhere. Okay. And that was one thing I noticed when I had a potential a few months ago, and her cousin and her friend with, oh, that made me, Monique, me. And then she's like, okay, but I said to him, like, but I mean, it's been around for this long and they're like $1 billion company. They got to be doing something right. Like people are starting to like use their own brains rather than believing like, you know, disgruntled hairdressers and mom bloggers. So like, it's really important that we start owning our shit. Okay. Cause we are not going anywhere. So I'm really quick. I'm a fast talker. I'm done. So I'm going to leave you with this quote that I loved. Trina, she is one of my incredible team members, Trina Mosier, and I'm sure you know her, fellow NBCer. She trained in Montreal, and I loved her quote on the F word she shared. And I never heard it before. Maybe I did, but I don't know, my memory's bad. But I loved it, and it's something that I need to remember, and I want to be reminded of daily, and I thought I would share it with you guys. So the F word, failure. Get very comfortable with failure. Failure is our friend. It's impossible to get to success without failure. Studies show that those that fail have 50% more chance of success. So guys, in like my 6.5 years of being in this business, I rose to the top, I dropped, I lost over half of my business, and then I hit MDC. You know why? Because I didn't give up, right? There is, and if I didn't fail along the way, like that just shows right there, exactly, yes, I failed. I shit the bed a ton in my last 6.5 years, but success, I grew, right? We have to get comfortable with it. And I love that quote, and I hope you liked it too. And I hope tonight was good and you guys got lots of little nuggets. And I hope you have an incredible Christmas, and I love you all. Bye.